It was 6 months after the war had ended. A lot of good people had died. Naruto had seen a lot of stuff during the war. He had lost a lot of people that were important to him. Neji was a very hard blow. However, the hardest lost was Hinata. Hinata had confessed that she loved Naruto during the attack on the Leaf Village. Naruto, with any spare time, he had thought about her confession. He knew after a short time that he could fall for her. She was everything he was looking for in a wife. She was beautiful, smart, and had a great heart. She would defend her friends with all that she had. It was during the final battle that he knew without a doubt that he loved Hinata. During a break in the battle, he made a plan. After the battle, he was going to tell her that he had fallen for her and beg her to give him a chance. He was ready to get down on his hands and knees if he needed to do that. He knew he should since he made her wait for so long. However, he never got the chance. It was not due to Hinata dying in battle. That would have been difficult, but Naruto would have managed it. No, it was far worse what happened. Hinata was always so sweet and kind, however, something happened during the battle. No one knows what it was, but she changed. No one really wanted to figure it out. Some were too scared of the new her. The rest of her clan, on the other hand, were happy that she became the perfect heiress, so they never cared to figure it out. The battle was over. The death toll was high for all villages. At least 50 people from each of the 5 major villages were killed. Many minor villages also lost troops, but not enough to really do anything. Waterfall and Star were the 2 minor hidden villages that were hit the softest. They would recover the quickest. The Leaf Village had been hit the hardest from all the attacks against it. However, no one in the Leaf was worried. Their strongest all survived the battle, and they would see to it that the village would survive. Suin thought that the village would not only survive, but it would come back stronger than ever. Naruto was helping with getting the bodies ready for transport back to each ninja's village. It was a hard task for all involved. It was one that no one liked doing. This was one of the few times that Naruto did not have a smile on his face, either fake or real. He knew in the coming months he would smile again, but at this point he could not smile. He spent 3 days non-stop helping with the bodies. After the 3 days he was done and all the bodies had been transported to their home villages for burial. Naruto returned to camp, and waiting for him were his friends from the Rookie 12. Sasuke was back with the group. Since he was never decaled a missing ninja, he was cleared of all crimes. That, and he helped in the final battle. Without his help, Naruto would not have been able to deliver the final blow. Naruto noticed that Sakura was using him as a pillow. A year ago that would have hurt, but now it did not. He realized that he no longer loved Sakura in a romantic way. He loved her like a little sister. He was glad to see his sister with the one she loved. He even forgave her for trying to use his feelings against him in the Land of Iron. Naruto goes up to Hinata and he is about to ask her on a date. Dictionaries and encyclopedias. However, she beats him to it, but saying more like shouting at him. "You are a monster. I wished I had never saved you. I wish I had let you die. You are a demon and you deserve to die." Naruto said calmly. "I thank you for your honesty. If anyone needs me, I will be sleeping. Good night, everyone." End flashback. Naruto did not hear the conversation that happened after he left. However, he learned from Sakura that Hinata was nearly killed by Chuzand. However, Sakura stopped her master by stating that killing Hinata would only hurt Naruto more. Since that day, no one would speak to Hinata unless it was needed it. Today was the first day Naruto had smiled since the war ended. This day he was smiling for real. Sakura and Sasuke were getting married and Naruto was the best man. The ceremony was beautiful and Naruto was very happy for his friends. He actually cried when Sasuke and Sakura kissed for the first time as husband and wife. As the best man, he was asked to give a speech at the reception. So he gave this speech. It was not rehearsed beforehand, it came straight from his heart. He said, "I have known you to a very long time. Yes, I knew Sakura longer, but we have been through a lot together, the three of us. I have seen that you two belong with each other." He took a pause before saying, "Now Sasuke, you are like a brother to me, but Sakura is like a sister to me. So if you hurt my sister, I will hurt you 1,000 times worse." He took another pause before saying, "Now Sakura, you are like my sister and I love you, but Sasuke is like my brother. So if you hurt him, I will hurt you 1,000 times worse." Once more the blonde had to take a pause. He said, "Now I am trying to say, take care of each other and love each other each and every day. Love is the greatest force on this earth and nothing can beat it. I wish you two the best of luck." Naruto then sat down. He spent some time with his other friends before he left. He was promoted to the rank of Junin after the final battle. He finally got the respect he deserved. As a result of his promotion, he had a mission in the morning. Sakura stopped him before he left. She said, "Naruto, I am glad to see you smiling again. You need to do it more." Naruto said, "Before today I had no reason to smile. I doubt I will anytime soon." Sakura said, "Naruto, I know you are still hurting with what that bitch did to you. I am not going to try and get you to get over it. I know that I will fail. All I ask is look for another woman. There are a lot of women that fit what you want in a wife." She took a pause and said, "I know what your real dream is. You can't give up on that." Naruto said, "I want to thank you." He took a pause before saying, "All of you." The others had all come out of the shadows. Naruto said, "I know you are right, Sakura, but I am not sure I will find love. Maybe I can adopt a child if the void in my heart becomes too great. Good night, everyone." Naruto, with a flash of light, was gone. All his friends vowed to help him find a wife. Little did the others know, but one other also made that vow. This one was a powerful being that caused many problems for Naruto. However, he was going to make it all up to Naruto. This being had a mission, and to complete it he had to go and speak with Kami. He left to do just that. Kurama was the nine-tailed fox. He was the most powerful demon lord there was. With a simple shake of one of his tails he could level mountains and cause tidal waves that could wipe out nations. Yet he was not a mindless killing machine. He enjoyed destruction and mayhem as much as the next guy, but he did not simply do it just to do it. There had to be a reason behind it. The attacks on the leaf were due to being forced against his will. Anime and manga. He had lived a very long time. He had lived for hundreds of years. He had seen empires rise and empires fall. He had met many humans. Not many had earned his respect. In fact, very few did and do. However, one that had earned his respect was Naruto. Kurama thought to himself after the battle was over that if he had a son, he would want his son to be like Naruto. He had given Naruto a few gifts after the final battle. He remembered the look of shock on the blonde's face. Flashback. Kurama was in his fox form, but he was smaller. He was speaking with Naruto. Kami had ordered that all the demons be sent to hell. The demons did not mind, for to them it was home. The other demon lords were saying goodbye to their host, the ones that were still alive anyway. Naruto was speaking with Kurama. Naruto said, You know, you crazy fox, this is going to sound insane, and believe me, I know insane. I think I am going to miss you. Kurama smiled, and not his insane creepy smile. The one that said I am going to eat you. No, this was his true happy smile. He said, I agree, Kit. I shall miss you as well. However, I will not be far. I will leave you with some gifts. Kurama wrapped his tails around Naruto and transferred some of his chakra to the blonde. After a short time, Kurama released Naruto and said, I have given you more of my power. You will gain tails the more of my power you master, up to 9 tails. You will be able to transform and have a greater control over the elements. You are also immortal. Naruto was shocked but also happy. He bowed before the Fox Lord and said, Thank you for your kindness. Kurama said, No problem, and please don't bow to me. You are my friend and as such should not bow to me. That and you bowing is not right. Anyway, you can also turn any mates you have. I also wish you to use this. In puff of smoke, a scroll appeared in front of Naruto. He opened it and saw that it was a summoning contract for the foxes. Kurama said, Never have I found anyone worthy of such an honor. I want you to be the first, and you shall pick who will use us or not. The foxes have many uses, including tracking, battle, and pranks. Also call for a chat. Naruto signed his name. He was allowed to have more than one contract, so he signed with the foxes. He then hugged the fox and the Kurama hugged back. Kurama said, I am the boss of the foxes, so call me sometime just to chat. I want an invite to your wedding. Kurama then turned around and headed home. End flashback. Kurama gave Naruto those gifts to make up for all the stuff Naruto had to go through because of him. The other reason was Kurama had seen many humans and very few had hearts as pure as Naruto. Allowing Naruto to die would be a great disservice to the world. Kurama had stayed around for a few days to make sure Naruto was able to talk to Hinata. Anime and manga. He had heard every word the girl said. It made him mad. Actually, it was the first time he felt true rage in many years. Being controlled did not count. He wanted to kill the white-eyed one, but he held off. He had bigger fish to fry. Kurama knew that there were other mates out there for his former host. He just had to find her and get Kami to agree. It was about 2 weeks before the wedding that he found the perfect mate. She was everything Naruto was looking for, and Naruto was everything she was looking for. Plus, both were attracted to each other. It would take a little bit of time, but given the right nudge, then they would fall in love. Kurama now had to get Kami to agree. He knew that Kami was the reason behind Hinata's actions. If Kami did not agree, then the one Kurama had in mind would end up dead, and that would hurt Naruto even more. So Kurama made it to Kami and spoke with her. She was about 5 feet tall with long white hair and black eyes. She said, I know why you are here, give me a reason to allow it. Kurama said, he saved the world and you formed darkness. Madara would not have stopped until he was in charge and you were destroyed. You took away from him everyone that has ever loved him. His parents, Haku, and now Hinata. Kami sighed and said, you are right, but what can I do? She may not work. Kurama said, I think she will work. You just need to set up the meeting, fix her problems, and let me turn her daughter immortal when the time is right, and let the rest go from there. I know this will work. I know Naruto better than anyone else. Kami said, very well, I agree. I am tired of my champion being screwed, and I hated doing that, but Hinata was not right for him as his immortal mate. I hope we are right that this one is right for him. Kurama said, she is right for him, I can feel it. I know it to be true. However, you can't force her to love him, it will only cause more problems. So with a bow the demon fox lord left to return home and start his plan. It would not be easy, but when it worked, Naruto would be happy finally. Kurama thought when it worked and not if it would work, since he was sure it would work. Soon it said, "I am glad to see you back, Naruto. I got worried." Naruto smiled. Suand had become the mother or grandmother for him. He cared about her and she was the only reason he kept going right now. It was at the point that Suand did not even care if Naruto called her grandma anymore. She was actually glad now when he called her that. She said, "Naruto, you will not like this, but you have been working too much. So unless it is needed, I am not going to send you on any missions. You may still train, but I can't let you go on any more missions. You will be off duty for 6 months." Suand expected him to yell about that. In all honesty, she hoped that he would. If he did, then he would be more normal in her eyes. Naruto sighed and said, "It is okay, Grandma. Thank you for looking out for me. I am glad someone is looking out for me. If you need me, you know how to find me." Naruto left. He went to get some ramen, and once he was done, he started to walk around for a while. He walked around the village and got near the forest. He sat down and summoned a small black fox. She was named Midnight and she was the personal summons of Naruto. She was like his sister. She jumps up on his shoulders and says, "So how are you, bro?" Naruto sighs. "What is the point anymore? I don't want to be a weapon, but right now that is all I feel like." Midnight cuddled up with her brother and said, "Don't turn into one. That will not end well for you. Don't give up. I say wait till the end of the year. If you have not found someone to date, then adopt a child. There are a lot of children that need homes due to the war." Naruto softly smiled at this and said, "Thanks sis, you are right." Just as he was about to go home and get some sleep, he and Midnight hear a scream for help. The two run to the location and see a little girl running from 5 men. The girl is about 4 years old. She has long black hair and light-colored red eyes. Her name is Rose and she is the daughter of Asuma and Kurenai. Asuma died in the war, so Rose never met her birth father. However, everyone in the village, including Naruto, told her about her birth father. No one was going to allow her to not know. Naruto watched her a few times when Kurenai was on a mission and no one else could. The two liked each other and got along well. So when Naruto sees the 5 men chasing her, his blood starts to boil. Using the blunt part of his sword, he knocks them out. The sword he has is the one his mother used in battle and the one that earned her the nickname of the Red Death. He hoped to someday surpass her, and since he was immortal, that was going to happen. Rose clings to Naruto and does not let him go. Naruto had summoned a few more foxes. One comes back a few minutes later with Anko and, seeing what almost happened, drags the 5 away along with some shadow clones of Naruto. Anime and manga. Naruto gently picks up Rose and Midnight shouts, "I found Kurenai, she is safe. She was not raped, she is okay, she may have a headache but she is okay." Naruto creates a shadow clone without using seals. It is a good thing since he can't use his hands. He tried twice and each time Rose clung to him tighter. The clone gently picks up Kurenai. A small blue fox, her name was Ice, came up to him. Naruto asked her to get Suand. The group makes it back to Naruto's home. This home was his parents' and he took it over after the war. Hinata made every move she could to stop it from being given to Naruto. He gets inside and has the clone place Kurenai on the couch. He is still holding on to Rose. He asks her, "Do you want anything?" Rose shakes her head no. She is very scared right now and does not want Naruto to leave. So Naruto sits down in a chair. The little girl falls asleep in his arms, holding onto him very tightly. Suin gets to his home or her home since Naruto allowed her to move in. The house had many rooms. Suin had her own wing. She sees Kurenai and does a checkup on her. After a few short minutes she says, she is okay, just a small bruise. She was not raped. I think they were going to do it later. Now it is time to check on the girl. Naruto said, that is great news. Can you check her form this spot? Whenever I try to move she starts to shake violently and clings to me tighter. Suin smiled. She noticed how Naruto was gently holding Rose and stroking the young girl's hair and whispering comforting words to her. She said, of course I can, and I think you need to adopt soon if you are not going to get married. You will make a great father. Naruto blushed and said, thank you. Now can you look over Rose please? So Suin did and said, she is okay, no scratches on her. I would recommend to Kurenai that she sees a mind healer like Ino, but other than that she will be fine. Naruto said, okay, well since I can't move I am going to get some sleep. Good night grandma. Suin smiled and got into a chair and fell asleep as well. Midnight gave out a soft howl and 30 other foxes appeared in a large puff of smoke. Midnight said, okay everyone, please portal the home and do not let anyone near it unless it is the approved people. Wake Naruto if there is trouble and get the other 3 out. The foxes all nodded and went out to do just that. All the foxes knew what happened to Rose. To them harming a child was unforgivable. All of them wanted to rip to pieces the ones that tried to harm the girl. Midnight stood guard over her brother. She did not call him master since Naruto did not like it. He felt it was wrong and after some time she called him brother. She was told the plan by Kurama and she agreed that Kurenai would be a great mate for her brother. Plus Rose would be a great leader as well. She only hoped that a relationship did work or else her brother would be in worse shape. Tsunade said, I am glad to see you back Naruto. I got worried. Naruto smiled. Tsunade had become the mother or grandmother for him. He cared about her and she was the only reason he kept going right now. It was at the point that Tsunade did not even care if Naruto called her grandma anymore. She was actually glad now when he called her that. She said, Naruto, you will not like this, but you have been working too much. So unless it is needed I am not going to send you on any missions. You may still train but I can't let you go on any more missions. You will be off duty for 6 months. Tsunade expected him to yell about that. In all honesty she hoped that he would. If he did then he would be more normal in her eyes. Naruto sighed and said, it is okay grandma. Thank you for looking out for me. I am glad someone is looking out for me. If you need me you know how to find me. Naruto left. He went to get some ramen and once he was done he started to walk around for a while. He walked around the village and got near the forest. He sat down and summoned a small black fox. She was named Midnight and she was the personal summons of Naruto. She was like his sister. She jumps up on his shoulders and says, so how are you bro? Naruto sighs. What is the point anymore? I don't want to be a weapon but right now that is all I feel like. Midnight cuddled up with her brother and said, don't turn into one. That will not end well for you. Don't give up. I say wait till the end of the year. If you have not found someone to date then adopt a child. There are a lot of children that need homes due to the war. Naruto softly smiled at this and said, thanks sis, you are right. Just as he was about to go home and get some sleep, he and Midnight hear a scream for help. The two run to the location and see a little girl running from 5 men. The girl is about 4 years old. She has long black hair and light-colored red eyes. Her name is Rose and she is the daughter of Asuma and Kurenai. Asuma died in the war, so Rose never met her birth father. However, everyone in the village including Naruto told her about her birth father. No one was going to allow her to not know. Naruto watched her a few times when Kurenai was on a mission and no one else could. The two liked each other and got along well. So when Naruto sees the 5 men chasing her, his blood starts to boil. Using the blunt part of his sword, he knocks them out. The sword he has is the one his mother used in battle and the one that earned her the nickname of the Red Death. He hoped to someday surpass her, and since he was immortal, that was going to happen. Rose clings to Naruto and does not let him go. Naruto had summoned a few more foxes. One comes back a few minutes later with Anko and, seeing what almost happened, drags the 5 away along with some shadow clones of Naruto. Naruto gently picks up Rose and Midnight shouts, "I found Kurenai, she is safe. She was not raped, she is okay, she may have a headache but she is okay." Naruto creates a shadow clone without using seals. It is a good thing since he can't use his hands. He tried twice and each time Rose clung to him tighter. The clone gently picks up Kurenai. A small blue fox, her name was Ice, came up to him. Naruto asked her to get Suand. The group makes it back to Naruto's home. This home was his parents' and he took it over after the war. Hinata made every move she could to stop it from being given to Naruto. He gets inside and has the clone place Kurenai on the couch. He is still holding on to Rose. He asks her, "Do you want anything?" Rose shakes her head no. She is very scared right now and does not want Naruto to leave. So Naruto sits down in a chair. The little girl falls asleep in his arms, holding onto him very tightly. Suan gets to his home, or her home, since Naruto allowed her to move in. The house had many rooms. Suan had her own wing. She sees Kurenai and does a checkup on her. After a few short minutes she says, "She is okay, just a small bruise. She was not raped. I think they were going to do it later. Now it is time to check on the girl." Anime and manga. Naruto said, "That is great news. Can you check her from this spot? Whenever I try to move, she starts to shake violently and clings to me tighter." Suan smiled. She noticed how Naruto was gently holding Rose and stroking the young girl's hair and whispering comforting words to her. She said, "Of course I can, and I think you need to adopt soon if you are not going to get married. You will make a great father." Naruto blushed and said, "Thank you, now can you look over Rose please?" So Suan did and said, "She is okay, no scratches on her. I would recommend to Kurenai that she sees a mind healer like Ino, but other than that she will be fine." Naruto said, "Okay, well, since I can't move, I am going to get some sleep. Good night, Grandma." Suan smiled and got into a chair and fell asleep as well. Midnight gave out a soft howl and 30 other foxes appeared in a large puff of smoke. Midnight said, "Okay everyone, please portal the home and do not let anyone near it unless it is the approved people. Wake Naruto if there is trouble and get the other 3 out." The foxes all nodded and went out to do just that. All the foxes knew what happened to Rose. To them, harming a child was unforgivable. All of them wanted to rip to pieces the ones that tried to harm the girl. Kurenai Yuhi was the Leaf Village's greatest master of genjutsu. She had taken part in the final battle. She was told she did not have to fight since she had a daughter, but she wanted to fight. She knew she could die, but she had to take the chance. She had to fight to protect her daughter. Rose was Kurenai's pride and joy. The mother and daughter pair were enjoying a day out, just having fun, when they were attacked. Kurenai saw the 5 men coming and was able to warn Rose. Rose started to run. The men hit Kurenai with something because she passed out, and all she heard before blackness overcame her was Rose screaming for help. Kurenai woke up and she felt sore, very sore. It was then that she looked around and did not know where she was. She started to panic since she felt she had been kidnapped, and any time now the kidnappers were going to rape her. She gets up but feels a hand push her down gently. She hears a voice say, "Kurenai, you need to rest. Your daughter is okay, just look over there." So she does and sees her daughter sleeping on someone that looks like Naruto. She then noticed that Tsunade is the one that was talking to her. Kurenai asked these questions one after the other without a break. What happened to me? What happened to Rose? Where are we? Who is she holding on to? Why is she holding on to him with a death grip? Tsunade smiled and is amazed at the speed with which the questions were asked. The Leaf Leader enjoyed working with Kurenai since she was one of the level-head ninjas in her ranks. Kurenai was always so calm and collected, so it amused the Leaf Leader to see her like that. She said, "You are in my home. Actual Naruto's home, but since I live here I guess it is my home as well." Kurenai says, "Okay, what about the other questions?" Tsunade says, "Okay, Rose is sleeping on Naruto. He is the one that saved you both. He brought you here and asked me to look you and Rose over. You were not raped. Naruto was able to prevent that." Quote. She took a pause so Kurenai could take in the information. The red-eyed ninja was very happy to hear that nothing had happened to her or Rose. She had to thank Naruto, but she did not know how. Tsunade said after a few minutes, "As to why your daughter has a death grip on Naruto, every time he tried to put her down she clung to him like her life depended upon it. Naruto did not have the heart to remove her, so he sat down and fell asleep. He has been on a mission." Kurenai said. "Did they touch Rose?" The two heard a voice say, "No, they came close but they did not actually touch her." Looking up they see a small black fox. Tsunade is used to the fox, but Kurenai is a little freaked out. The fox says, "I am Midnight and the personal summons of Naruto. He calls me his sister anyway. Your daughter is fine. I had a mind healer look at her. She will be scared for a few weeks of stranger, but that is normal for this type of attack." Kurenai says, "I can't thank you too enough for all that you have done." Midnight says, "Nothing needs to be done. Harming children is one crime we cannot stand." By we I mean Naruto and the rest of the foxes. Kurenai said, "Okay, but I am confused as to something. My daughter would not hug someone like that unless she knew the person. So I am guessing she knows Naruto, but how?" Tsunade says, "The one that I get to watch Rose when you are on a mission is Naruto." Kurenai trusted Tsunade's judgment, so she asked her leader to find someone to watch her daughter when she was out of the village on a mission. Kurenai asked, "I get the feeling that he has been avoiding me." Tsunade said, "The answer is simple, he is. He feels that you hate him for what happened to Asuma." Kurenai looked ashamed. She never did hate Naruto, not for having the fox, not for the death of her lover. When Naruto was younger she used to watch out for him. She always thought he was cute. Now lately she had noticed that he had become very handsome. Midnight said, "If you want to thank him, let him see Rose and hang out with her. The other thing is let him know you do not hate him. That will help him a lot." Naruto had woken up, he had heard everything. So he was really happy when he heard Kurenai say, I don't hate him at all. I never hated him. I wanted to strangle Hinata when she said those words to him. I still want to do it. Naruto said. That makes me very happy to hear that Kurenai. Kurenai gets up and attempts to take her daughter back. After a few minutes she was able to pry her daughter off. She then gets ready to leave. Naruto says, I am sending a few foxes to watch over her just in case there were others. Kurenai said, thank you Naruto. I wish for you to come over tomorrow night and let me cook a meal for you. She took a pause and said, I am sorry that I led you to think that I hate you. I don't hate you. If you wish to see my daughter just ask. You are always welcome. Naruto smiled and said, thank you, I will be honored to come tomorrow night. May I bring something? Kurenai asked. Nothing at all, just come and be ready to have a nice time. Kurenai left with her daughter and a small force of foxes that were hidden in the shadows. Suan could not resist saying, so you got a date tomorrow night? Naruto said, it is not a date, she is just being nice and thanking me for saving her daughter. Suan said, yes I know, but I can still tease you. Besides, it would be nice if it was date, I know you would not mind that. Naruto said, any guy in this village besides the married ones and the ones that are gay would like to date Kurenai. Sound said, true, well, good night my grandson. She hugged him and gave him a kiss on the cheek. Kurenai had gotten home and she was too tired to bring her daughter to her bed. So she sat on the couch and put her daughter's head on her lap. She was about to fall asleep when she saw a small yellow fox cuddle up to Rose and a small light blue fox cover them with a blanket. The small light blue fox said, if you need anything please let us know. Hospitals and treatment centers. Kurenai said, how come that fox is cuddling with my daughter and what is her name? The light blue one said, I am called Ice and she is called Lighting. She is cuddle with your daughter because she feels a bond. It is like Kiba's clan and the dogs. If you allow her, then your daughter will have a friend for life no matter what she does. Ice took a pause and said, before you ask, no, Naruto has not been teaching Rose the ways of the ninja. He knows you do not want her to be one. So he has not taught her a thing. Lighting was playing with her one day and they two have a bond, it seems. We were not sure how you would feel about it, so Lighting has stayed away. Kurenai said, I will talk with Naruto tomorrow night and we can discuss it then. Ice said, okay, good night. Kurenai went to sleep and did not wake up till her daughter woke her up. Rose had gotten up that morning and she knew she was not in the same spot she fell asleep on last night. She noticed her friend Lighting was right next to her and she notices that she is near her mom. She tackled her mom in a huge hug and starts to cry. That is what wakes up Kurenai, hearing her daughter cry. She pulls her close to her and says, it is okay, no one will harm you. We were saved thanks to Naruto and the foxes. I have good news, he is coming tonight for dinner. Rose stopped crying and said, that is good, I like him, he is a great person. He is so much fun to be with. Kurenai said, so he has been watching you. How come you never told me? Rose said, you never asked. He told me to tell you that he was watching me. I have been lying to him and have been telling him that it is okay for him to watch me. Kurenai said, it is not okay to lie, young lady. Rose said, I know mommy, but I did not want him to stop watching me. He takes care of me and helps me see that I can do anything I want. Plus he needs me. Kurenai said, what do you mean by that? Rose said, he is so very sad, I can feel it. When he is playing with me he is happy, I can feel it. Why is he so sad, mom? Kurenai was unsure how to answer that. She of course knew the answer, but how to explain it to a 4-year-old. Lighting jumped up and said, "The one he loved broke his heart in a terrible way. She called him a monster. That, and combined with the fact that he was always treated badly by the people in this village, makes it hard for him." Lighting took a pause and said, "Rose, you are right, you have been helping Naruto. You have helped him more than anyone else in this village has besides his grandmother." Kurenai said, "Well, from this day forward I will be his friend and will help him. I want to help him. Sad and depression do not work well with Naruto. I miss the days he used to play pranks." So Kurenai told her daughter and her fox guardians the stories of Naruto's pranks until she had to start making dinner. It caused laughter to fill the room. Naruto had gotten up that morning. He could not sleep. He usually could not sleep since he had nightmares. Most of them involved Hinata and the words she said. A few had he into hurting the people precious to him. Yes, he had those nightmares last night, but he kept thinking, which is what kept him awake. Holding Rose last night awoke a feeling inside his heart. He knew what it was and he knew what he had to do. Naruto spent a lot of time at the orphanage playing with the children. One of the first people to apologize to him was the matron of the orphanage. She had badly mistreated Naruto. She only did it since she was forced to. The civilian council told her that if she did not mistreat Naruto, then they would cut her funding. They also did the same thing when she kicked him out at the age of 4. She had not been in good shape ever since. The guilt was eating her up. Anime and manga. Naruto forgave her since she was only looking after the best interest of all the children. She cried when Naruto forgave her. Naruto went often to the orphanage. There was one little girl that no one wanted to adopt, and it worried Naruto. She spent a lot of time with him. She had long black hair and bright blue eyes. She was the same age as Rose, and like Rose she liked Naruto and enjoyed when he came to visit. Her name was Amber. Naruto knew when he got up that morning that he had to adopt her. He did not know what, but he had to do it. So he went downstairs to see his grandmother. She could tell right away that something was troubling him. Naruto said, "The little girl I have been telling you about at the orphanage, I am going to adopt her. Last time I left she had a look in her eyes of despair and sadness. I need to do it. Will you support me on this?" Tsunade was shocked but said, "Naruto, I have heard a lot of crazy things in my life, but this is the craziest. However, I will support you. Let us go and get your daughter." Naruto said, "I figured I was going to have to argue or beg for your help." Tsunade smiled and said, "I am not above that, but in this case I think it is a great idea." So the two left to go to the orphanage. When they got there, the two were greeted by the matron. She smiled at them and said, "What can I do for you two?" Naruto asked, "Has anyone adopted Amber yet?" The matron said sadly, "I am afraid no one has yet." Naruto said, "I would like to adopt her if that is okay." The matron smiled a bright smile before saying, "Of course, let us go see if she wants to be adopted by you." Naruto walked into the room and a little girl sees him and makes a beeline for him. She hugs him and says, "I am glad you are back. I missed you." Naruto picks her gently and says, "Amber, do you want a home? Do you want to have a father? If so, do you want to live with me and become my daughter?" Amber started to cry, but these were tears of joy. She hugged him tighter and said, "Yes, I do, Daddy." So after all the paperwork was done with, Naruto took his new daughter out. He was going to take her shopping, but first she needed to get some food. Amber only had a few items. Tsunade had gone back to work. Shizune was sent to help Naruto do clothing shopping. Naruto said after they had picked out enough outfits for Amber to have a wardrobe. Thanks for your help. I am at a loss as to what to do with clothing. Shizune said. Don't worry, my friend. I was glad to help. Now go get ready for your date. Naruto blushed and said. It is not a date. Shizune said. I know, now go and get ready. Naruto took Amber to a toy store. She was encouraged to pick out a few toys. She really liked the stuffed nine-tailed fox. Naruto thought it was very funny, so he got it for her. The two then headed home to get ready. He said, tonight we are having dinner at a friend's house. She is thanking me for helping her daughter. Her daughter is your age, I think you two could be friends. Amber asked, will I be allowed there, Daddy? Midnight said, yep, you sure are allowed there. Kurenai's words were, why would he ask such a stupid question? Of course she is welcomed here. Amber was not at all freaked out by the talking foxes. She was used to them. Like Rose, she also had a fox partner. Hers was red and named Ruby. Ruby was sitting on her shoulders. Naruto loved it when Amber called him Daddy. He could not explain why, but he loved it. After getting home and getting dressed for dinner, the father-daughter pair made their way to Kurenai's home for dinner. Amber climbed on her daddy's shoulders. Up above, Kurama was laughing his butt off. The little girl got a toy plushie of him. He should be offended by the toy plushie, but he was not. He thought it was cool. Whoever made him really got his likeness. Naruto adopting Amber was not a part of his original plan, but he thought it was good. Shizune was speaking to her master and mentor, and she asked the question that was burning on her mind. You see, as the Hokage Suand had to approve any adoptions that were done with any of her ninjas. So she wondered why Suand allowed it. She asked her master that point blank. Thankfully, the relationship they had allowed that adoption. Suand answered with a question of her own. How was he today when you helped him? Was he the same as he has been the last 6 months, or was he different? Shizune thought about it and said. He was a little like the Naruto we used to know. Not all the way, but a little bit. Suand said. That is why I allowed it. If all goes well, then we will have the old Naruto back. If we have the old one back, then maybe he can find a wife and fulfill his real dream. Naruto and Amber were on their way to dinner with Kurenai and Rose. Naruto was starting to feel like himself once more. He knew he was not 100%, but he was getting there, and that was enough for him. After a few minutes, the pair gets to Kurenai's home. She lets them in, and Amber is a little shy. She hides behind her dad's leg and holds onto it tightly. Rose goes up to Amber and sticks out her hand. The two shake hands. Amber sees that Rose has a fox on her shoulder as well, so she goes and starts to play with her. Amber knows that foxes only go to people that are good. So she knows she is safe. Kurenai and Naruto start to talk and chat about stuff. Kurenai really likes chatting with Naruto. He is fun to talk with. Plus he listens to her, and that is something that very few do with her. Anko, her best friend, listens, but most of the time she is drunk. Naruto listens and hangs on every word. Kurenai was thinking that she may have to seek out Naruto if she needs to talk to someone from now on. Naruto listened, but not only that, he did not judge nor did he give advice, he just listened. After about an hour, Kurenai said, Naruto, about lighting, will she harm Rose? Naruto said, no, not at all. She would die before that happens. She will protect Rose with her life. He took a pause before saying, think of lighting as an older sister always watching over Rose. No matter what, lighting will not fail. She is beating herself up. Kurenai asked, Why is that? Naruto said. Simple, she feels that she should have done more. She feels that it's her fault that you two were hurt. Kurenai said. Okay, what needs to be done for this bond to form? Naruto smiled and said. It already has. Will you allow Lighting to stay with Rose? Kurenai said. You need her. Naruto smiled and said. She is a great friend, but she would do well with Rose. I promised Asuma on his grave that I would watch out for Rose. Lighting is helping with that. Naruto called the little fox over and she jumped on his shoulder and said. What do you need, brother? Naruto said. I have good news, Lighting. Kurenai has accepted that you are Rose's guardian. So from this day forward until I say otherwise, you are to be with her. Lighting is happy. She licks Kurenai's cheek and says. Thank you, I will protect your daughter with my life. Kurenai started to pet the fox, which earned a happy purr from the fox. Lighting rejoined the girls playing. Naruto was smiling seeing his daughter happy. Kurenai said. So what made you decide to adopt, if you don't mind telling me that is? Naruto said. Well, to be honest, I have been debating on if I should do it or not. I have not felt like I should take care of a child, so that is why I have been holding off. I have not felt emotional stable enough to do that. Naruto took a pause before he said. Last night as Rose was holding on to me, I felt something in my heart. I felt the love of a child, the unconditional love of a child towards their parent. I know I am not her parent, but it reminded me of my true dream. He took a pause before saying, only my grandmother knows my true dream. The foxes know, so I should restate that. My grandmother is the only human that knows my true dream. My true dream was to get married and have family of my own. I wanted lots of children. Family. Kurenai said. You figured adopting Amber would help her have a home and help fill the void in your heart. It was not a question, more of a statement. That did not stop Naruto from saying. Yes, I had hoped to start a family with Hinata, but we all know how that worked. Kurenai pulled him into a hug and said. I don't know what you are going through, but I will be here to help you. If you need someone to talk to, I will listen. Naruto smiled and hugged her back before saying. Thank you so much. After that, dinner was served and everyone had a great time eating. Naruto really liked Kurenai's cooking, she was a master cook. Afterwards the girls were getting sleepy. The girls wanted bedtime story. Naruto said. Okay, I have one. Listen up, this about a princess. So Naruto told a story about a princess that was cursed by an evil witch, and she ended up with the help her best friend breaking the curse. Along the way the princess fell in love with her best friend. The two were married, have many hardships. The girls fell asleep after the story. Kurenai gently took her daughter to her room and placed the young girl on her bed. She gets back in and sees Naruto stroking Amber's hair softly. She thinks to herself, you will make a great father, Naruto. I hope you find a wife soon, and whoever she is will be lucky as can be. She says, before you go, in 2 days I am going on a mission that will last 1 to 3 weeks, maybe more. Do you know anyone that can watch Rose for me? Naruto said. I was told I am being forced to take some vacation for a few months. So she can stay with me. Amber and Rose get along, I think it will be great. Kurenai said. You don't mind doing it? Naruto said. Not at all, it will be my pleasure to watch her. I promise not to teach her anything. It was the morning after the dinner with Kurenai, and Tsunade right now was not in a good mood. This was no surprise for her or for anyone that knew her. She was not often in a good mood in the morning. However, what did shock her and the people that knew her was the reason behind her bad mood. Usual she was mad that she had too much paperwork to do. Naruto taught her the secret of how to beat paperwork. Anime and manga. She really loved shadow clones, by the way. Usual she was in a bad mood since she could not drink in the morning. After the battle she stopped drinking, so that was out. Usual she got mad at Naruto, but he had been quite lately and that worried her more, but she knew he may be back to his old self soon, so that was out. Now the reason for her bad mood was not Naruto, nor was it Kurenai, no, it was Hinata. Hinata had gotten wind that Naruto had adopted and she did not like it at all. She made it to Tsunade's office and demanded to speak with her. As a clan leader she had the right to do it. Hinata was not alone, she had her allies on the council. By allies I mean minions, puppets, people that still hated Naruto no matter what. Suin said. Lady Hinata and various non-important council members, to what do I owe this interruption? Before they could speak, Suin said. Actual, I know the reason. You only come in with your puppets when you want to ruin Naruto's life even more. So I am assuming you heard about the adoption. I can't wait to hear your excuse as to why he should not have been allowed to adopt. Before Hinata says anything, Suin shouts. Shizune, looks like you won the bet. She came today. I lost again. A random council woman asked. The author says random since she is not important. What bet? Suin said. I bet Shizune 100 that you lot would come in 2 days. Shizune bet today. So lost. I got rid of my alcohol problem but not my gambling problem. Oh well. One vice at a time. Hinata was not accepting this. She was expecting to be ignored or told no. She was not expecting to be laughed at and treated like a joke. This enraged her. She said, now listen, I demand respect. Suin said very calmly, but everyone knew she was not. I am not a part of your little clan. I do not need to respect you. It must be earned, not given. Now say your excuse or I may get back to work. Hinata said. He is a demon and he will hurt the child. I am going to use all my political power to get the adoption reversed. Suin said. Well, it is a good thing I already saw this coming. She tossed Hinata a scroll and said. By the way, there are many copies of this one. The scroll said that every cage of all the major villages along with many federal lords all supported the adoption. In other words, if Hinata tried anything, her clan was sunk. Suin said. Now that this over, please leave unless you have another stupid excuse. Hinata said. I will just have to use other ways. Suin said. Hinata, whatever you are planning, I would suggest you stop. If you try and harm his child, Naruto will hurt you 1,000 times worse. Hinata smirked and said. My clan will protect me, he would not dare attack me. Suin said. He is like his mother. His mother, if you harmed her important people, not even Kami herself could stop his mother. I am giving you this warning. Council members, remember one thing, I am in charge, you are here to advise, not order around. Now get out of my office. Up above, Kami was smiling, for Suin was right about Naruto's mother. Even Kami was scared of Naruto's mother. Hinata left, vowing to kill Naruto and his child. She would have to wait. She wanted Naruto to lower his guard. She knew it would not be easy, but she would do it. The Branch family used to love her and hope she would be clan leader. However, now they feared her and wanted her gone. Anime and manga. The members of the Branch family respect Naruto. They had hoped that he would marry Hinata and the two would get rid of the cage bird seal. All that hope was dashed. A Branch family member was out on a mission. She had completed it, but she had one more thing to do. She made it to Naruto's home. He was awake, but his daughter was asleep. She gets him to open the door and she says, "I must be quick. Hinata has discovered that you adopted a child. She plans on killing your child. I do not know when." Naruto asked, "Why are you telling me this? If she finds out, she will kill you and anyone else she feels like." The woman said, "I know, but it is what we as the Branch family want to do. Every one of us hoped and prayed that you and Hinata would marry. We hoped and prayed that the seal would be removed from us forever. Now it is a dead dream." That was why Neji died with a smile on his face. He felt that the rest of us would be free. Naruto said, "It will still happen. I promised and I never go back on my word. I will find a way so that Neji would not have died in vain." The woman said, "I know and I hope to live to see that day." With that, the woman is gone. Naruto says, "Midnight, do we have any seal masters in the clan?" Naruto went to get his daughter up and ready for the day. They had a busy day today. Amber gets up and at first she was confused and a little scared. She then sees her daddy and jumps at him and starts to cry. She says, "I thought it was a dream." Naruto pulls her tighter to his chest and says, "It is not a dream, my little angel. You are here to stay and nothing, and I mean nothing, will make me send you back." Anime and manga? Amber asked with a lot of fear in her voice. More fear than a child her age should have in their voice, Naruto noted. "What if you find a woman you love and she wants me gone?" Naruto said. "Then I will tell her that she can leave. You are way too important to me. I love you and I will not let anyone take you from me." Amber said. "Thank you, Daddy, I love you too. What are we doing today?" Naruto said. "We have to get you a checkup. Hopefully with one of the 3 I trust. There are also a lot of people that wish to meet you, including the ones I see as family. Also tomorrow Rose is going to stay with us for a few weeks. I hope that is okay." Amber smiled at that. She said, "I like her, she is a great friend. She is my first human friend." She started to pet Ruby. Naruto said, "Well, you are going to make more friends." So the pair had breakfast that Naruto made. It was not ramen, if you can believe it. Naruto knew how to cook. He knew since he was a child. The only reason he ate ramen so much was that was all he could afford when he was a kid. After the war he ate better since stores actual sold him stuff and stuff that was not outdated. Naruto said, "Time to go and get you a checkup." Amber was a little nervous. She did not like doctors. The doctor that came to the orphanage was not a nice person, but he was the only one that would come. Naruto said, "Don't worry, I asked that one of 3 people give you a checkup and all 3 I trust 100%. They will not hurt you." The 2 make it to the hospital. Midnight is on Naruto's shoulder. The nurse at the front desk no longer said anything about the fox. She always respected Naruto and never treated him badly. She was one of the few at the hospital that was allowed to treat Naruto. That was one reason she did not say anything. The other was Sue and would kill her, of that she had not doubt. The nurse said, "So have you gotten hurt again, Naruto?" Naruto said, "No, I need a checkup for my daughter." The nurse said, "Okay, you know where to wait, and what do you mean, daughter?" The nurse looks down and sees the small child holding onto Naruto. The nurse smiles and says, "Sorry, we were told you had adopted, but no one believed it." Sakura is waiting in her office. She will give the checkup, she said. She beat up the others that wanted to do it. Naruto laughed since he knew the nurse meant that Sakura beat up the others. Naruto gently picked up his daughter and held her close. He carried her up to Sakura's office. When they get there, the pink-haired one is waiting for them. She says, so you get back from your mission, save Kurenai and her daughter, adopt a child and have dinner with Kurenai and you don't tell me. I am hurt. Naruto then explained what happened. Sakura said, wow, that sounds so like you. Anyway, you want your daughter to have a checkup, well, let us get to it. Sakura looks at Amber and smiles. She says, hello little one, my name is Sakura, and I am a friend of your father. We're teammates. Anyway, I am going to check to make sure that you are healthy as can be. So Sakura started to do a scan on Amber. Sakura checked everything and checked it twice. Sakura said, well, Naruto and Amber, I have great news. Amber, you are 100% healthy. You are where you should be at your age. Just make sure she has a proper diet and all the usual stuff. Quote, Amber hugged Sakura and said, thank you, Auntie. Amber ran to the bathroom and while there Naruto said, so what is the bad news, and before you deny it, I know you by now. Sakura sighed and said with a lot of nervousness, physical she is fine, but there is something up with her mind. I am not sure what it is. I suggest Ino look at her. There are signs that she was abused, they are small but they are there. She was nervous at what Naruto's actions would be. Before the war he would have haunted down her parents and tried to find answers. Now he said, okay, thanks for being honest with me. If her parents are alive, I shall make sure they do not come near her. If they are not alive, then I will help Amber recover, that is all I can do. Amber came back and started to play with the toys in the waiting room. Sakura said, so how did your date go? Naruto said, it was not a date, why do you three keep on saying that? Sakura said, okay, so it was not a date, but I bet you wish it was. Naruto said, nearly every guy in this village would wish it. I got to spend time with her and I liked it a lot. I got the change to get to know her and I know I am falling for her, but I am scared. Naruto took a pause and said, she is everything I am looking for. Smart, funny, has a great heart and will do anything for her important people. Anime and manga. Naruto took another pause before saying, you and I both know it will not happen even if I wanted it. She will not see me that way. Even if we do date, what could prevent her from hurting me like Hinata did? Sakura was shocked by this. Not by what he said, but by how fast he said it. She figured she would have to draw it out of him. Naruto said, I figured that was your plan, so I might as well just say it quickly. Now if you excuse me, we need to go see Ino. Naruto and Amber left the hospital and went to see Ino. Ino was shocked when she sees the little girl with Naruto. She asked, so who is this Naruto? Naruto smiled and said, this is my daughter Amber. Ino did a double take and said, wow, congrats, so what can I do for you? Naruto explained what he wanted done. Ino, using her clan's techniques, went into Amber's mind. She came back 10 minutes later and she was mad. Naruto had never seen her that mad before. She then did some hand signs and touched her hands to Naruto's head and said, memory sharing. Naruto then saw all that Ino saw and it made his blood boil. The good news is he had the faces of Amber's birth parents so he could see if they were alive and make sure they stayed away from Amber. Ino said, Naruto, I know about Kurenai and I am going to say give it a chance if it comes up. Don't let that bitch ruin you. Naruto hugged Ino and thanked her. Amber did the same thing. Ino nearly cried when Amber called her auntie. The duo went to get some lunch and on the way they ran into Aruka, who Amber could tell was a nice guy. They ate lunch together. Aruka said, so is it true that you are dating Kurenai? Naruto said, not you two. No, I am not dating her. And to answer your next question, yes, I would love to date her, but answer my question, why would she date me? What do I have to offer one of the, if not the most beautiful woman in the village? She is not only beautiful, but she is kind, smart, funny, and has a great heart. She is perfect. Aruka said. Besides the vast amounts of money you have, the large house, and all the power you have, you have a good heart as well. When people go to you with problems, you listen and try to help. You will go through the fires of hell for the important ones in your life. Aruka said after a short pause. You also adore her daughter, and that is a big plus in your favor. My advice is go for her. Naruto excused himself and went out to meet more people. Suand wanted to meet her great-granddaughter. She could not meet her the other day. She signed the paperwork and left to get to work. Little did Naruto know, but 3 other people had heard his conversation. One was Anko, one was Rose, and the other was Kurenai. Kurenai had a hard time sleeping. She really enjoyed spending time with Naruto. She knew that he was a very handsome man and one of the most sought-after men in the village. Someone once got the idea of setting up a tournament. The winner got to marry Naruto. Suand put that idea down fast. Kurenai laughed at the memory. It was very funny. A few women were sent to the hospital. One was still in it. Anime and manga. She knew that she always found Naruto to be cute, but now he was hot and she was attached to him, of that she had not doubt. After last night she knew she was falling for him, but she never figured he would go for her. He had all that she was looking for in a partner. He had a big heart and was able to forgive. He had a kind smile that could put anyone at ease. She felt that no one would want her with all the baggage she had. She had a few things she needed to take care of, so she got up and ready for the day. Rose got up and was really happy to learn that she would be staying with Naruto, or Uncle Naruto as she called him. First, Kurenai made a change to her will. She made Naruto the guardian of Rose should she pass away on a mission. She knew it was a rash choice, but she knew it was the right one. In her heart it was the right choice. Kurenai could not stop thinking about Naruto. She was really confused about her feelings for the blonde-haired ninja. She needed to talk to someone. Sound was out since Kurenai did not want to admit to her leader that she might be falling for her son or grandson. She was downright terrified of telling her that. Shizune was out since she would tell Sound. She knew who she should ask but was afraid to ask. The person she knew she should ask saw Naruto like a little brother. She was Anko. Before the war, Anko started to date Aruka. Naruto wrote Aruka while on his training trip. In one letter he told his former teacher that he should ask Anko on a date. Aruka did, and the couple hit it off very well. Before the war the two were married. Aruka saw Naruto as a little brother. Once Anko learned that it was Naruto that made Aruka ask her on a date, she became fond of him. Anko started to see the blonde one as a little brother. She became the big sister, and she took the role of protective big sister very seriously. So much so that many people that insulted her little brother or had any intention of harming him met with a lot of pain. One guy found out just how many snakes Anko could summon. Kurenai wondered how Anko would act knowing she had a niece now. Kurenai destined to find Anko later and ask for her advice. She took Rose and spent the day with her. She liked spending a lot of time with Rose before a big mission in case she did not come back. While they were out playing, Kurenai told Rose, "As you know, you will be staying with Uncle Naruto. I want you to be good for him. I also gave him permission to teach you the ways of the ninja." Rose was really happy to hear that, for it was her dream to be a ninja. Kurenai was afraid of losing her daughter, which is why she did not want her daughter to become a ninja. However, she realized last night talking with Naruto that it was in Rose's blood. Both of her birth parents were ninjas, so it was natural. They did not have to find Anko, for she found him instead. Anko had a look of pure joy on her face. Usual, she had that look when she got to torture someone. Anko said, "I can't believe it, I have a niece. I can't wait to meet her. I also can't believe you had a date with my little brother and did not ask me first." Kurenai at the last comment blushed bright red and said, "It was not a date. I was just thanking him for saving me and Rose." Anko said, "I know I am just messing with you. However, the blush on your face says to me that you are attracted to my little brother. Now, as an overprotective big sister, I must make sure of your intentions with my little brother." "So what are they?" "Visual art and design." Kurenai said. "That is what I want to talk to you about. The truth is, you are right, I am attracted to him. What single woman is not? However, I got the chance to talk to him last night and to learn more about him. I want to date him, but..." Anko could tell her friend was nervous. So she said gently, more gentle than anyone would expect from her. "What is troubling you?" Kurenai answered. "I want to date him and see if anything can come from it, but why would he want to date me? Plus, I am afraid of 3 people and 1 is dead." Anko said. "Well, about me hurt my brother and you will not see the next day. Soon the same thing, expect it will hurt more." "Who is the other?" Kurenai said. "His mother, you know what she was like. If I piss her off, she can hurt me from the grave." Anko said. "All good points, but here is my advice, think about it while on the mission if you can. If you like the idea, then ask him on date. I would say wait for him, but even if he does want to date you, he will not. Hinata hurt him too much." Anko took a pause before saying, "I think he has given up on finding love." The trio then went to get some lunch. They ended up being near the same place that Naruto and Iruka and Amber were having lunch, so they heard everything that was said by Naruto. Kurenai watched him walk out, and once he left, she sat down with Anko and Iruka and Rose and started to softly cry. She said in between tears, "He called my beautiful. No man has ever said that about me and meant it or wanted something from me." Anko said, "So does that answer your question, my friend?" Kurenai says, "Yes, it does, and I know what I need to do. Come on, Rose, let us go find Uncle Naruto." The mother and daughter pair left to find the blonde-haired ninja. Iruka said, "Do you think they will get together?" Anko said, "Yes, the question I have is, will they stay together? I swear if she hurts him, I will kill her." Iruka knew his wife was serious. Anko said, "So tell me about our niece." Iruka did long into the afternoon. Naruto and Rose went around the village visiting people that were friends of Naruto. Ino had made sure that everyone knew of Naruto adopting Amber. All of his friends congratulated him and offered to help out if it was needed. Now it was time for Amber to meet Suand. Amber heard of the great Hokage and respected her. Both Naruto and Suand were Amber's heroes. So it made the little girl really happy to know they were her family now. She was a little nervous about meeting Suand, but her daddy put her mind at ease. Amber was really happy that she had a home now. She was scared to go to sleep last night. She was afraid she would wake up and it would all be a dream, a really good dream, but a dream nonetheless. She said to her daddy before they got to Suand's office. "Thank you," Naruto said. "For what?" Amber hugged him tightly and said, "Thank you for adopting me and making me your daughter and for giving me a home." Naruto hugged her back and said, "I am only sorry I did not do it sooner." Naruto took her hand and the two walked to the tower. The two get into the Hokage's office. At once Amber bows to Sunid. Sunid pulls her granddaughter into a hug and says, "Now I will have none of this bowing form my family." Sunid did the scan one more time. She was paranoid when it came to her family. Sunid said, "Amber, should you need help and your daddy can't help you, I will always be glad to help you, little one." After talking for a while, Amber hugged her and said, "I will see you later, Grandma. I love you." The two then left and Sunid cried. Kurenai was looking for Naruto and was having a hard time finding him. She spent a good 3 hours looking for him. After a while, Rose said, "Mommy, Lighting said she can find him." Kurenai gave the fox the evil eye before she said, "Why did you not tell me this?" Lighting gave a very Naruto-like grin when she said, "You never asked." Kurenai said, "You are sounding and looking like Naruto." Lighting said, "I will take that as a compliment. We foxes like to have fun and play pranks. Even in our world, Naruto's pranks are legendary. Now he has just left the Hokage Tower and is heading to his house." The three made it to Naruto's house just as he and Amber got home. Anime and manga. Naruto said, "Hello Kurenai, is everything okay? Do you need to leave sooner?" Kurenai said, "No, I am still leaving. At the same time, I need to talk to you. It is a little personal." Naruto said, "Well, I am about to make dinner. The girls can play if they want and you two can stay for dinner if you want." The two said girls ran inside the house. Amber led Rose to her room and they started to play with the toys. They really loved the doll house and the castle. The doll house had dolls and furniture. In many ways it had more stuff than Naruto did growing up. The castle also had stuff going with it. In all, it was very nice stuff to play with. Naruto went into the kitchen to start dinner. Kurenai was watching him cook and was amazed at it. Naruto seemed so natural at it. After a few minutes, Naruto said, "So what do you need to talk about?" Kurenai said, "I heard what you said at the restaurant. Did you mean it?" Naruto blushed and said, "Yes, I meant every word of it." Kurenai said, "So you think I am beautiful?" Naruto said, "No, I know you are beautiful inside and out. Talking with you last night, I saw that." Kurenai asked, "Were you ever going to ask me on a date?" Naruto said, "I am not sure. I am scared about dating right now. I like you and want to see if anything can form between us, but I am scared." Kurenai took his hands and said, "You are not the only one that is scared. I am scared as well. Let us be scared together." Naruto smiled and said, "After you get back, will you go on a date with me?" Kurenai smiled and said, "That would make me happy." Naruto said with a lot of nervousness in his voice, "May I please kiss you now?" Kurenai was shocked, but she got over it really fast. She said with a bright smile on her face, "Yes, please." So Naruto pulled her into a kiss. It was short, but both felt a spark. Both felt wonderful after getting the kiss. The two adults did not know that Amber and Rose had seen the kiss. Right now they were in Amber's room. Rose said, "I hope it means what I think it means." Amber said, "Only time will tell. Who knows, maybe we will be sisters someday." Rose said, "Yes, maybe, but I think for now we should keep it a secret that we saw them kissing." Amber said, "I agree, and if they need help we should help them. Daddy needs a wife." Rose said, "I want mommy to be happy." So the two little girls agreed that they would not interfere with the relationship of the parents. Family and relationships. Dinner was served and everyone loved it. Kurenai already had her mission gear ready. She also had Rose's stuff ready and brought it over to Naruto's house. She did not want to leave Naruto right now. After dinner the girls went to play before bedtime. Kurenai tucked Rose into bed. She said, "I will be gone when you wake up. So be good and I will be back. I love you, my little flower." Kurenai knew the nickname was lame, but she still used it. Rose hugged her mother and said, "I will be a good girl, mommy. Please come back soon. I love you too." Kurenai and Naruto stayed up a little bit. Kurenai said, "Naruto, this morning I made a change to my will. I left you as Rose's guardian." Naruto said, "In the unlikely event you die, I will watch out for her. I will raise her as if she is my own." Kurenai said, "I know that is why I did it. I am sorry for not asking you first. It just seemed like the right thing to do." Naruto pulled her into a hug. Naruto tried to end the hug, but Kurenai said, "Please hold me tonight. I have never felt like this, being held by someone. Please hold me." Naruto, not wanting to upset the one he cared about, did just that. The two shared one more kiss. Naruto was about to get up and go to bed when he was stopped by Kurenai. She said, "Don't move, I want to use you as a pillow. Please don't get up. Hold on to your girlfriend." Naruto smiled and kissed her one more time before saying, "As long as you want me to hold on, I will always hold on to you." After one last kiss, Kurenai put her head on his chest and fell asleep. This was the first time in over 6 years that sleep was easy for her. Naruto stayed up a little longer. Like Kurenai, he felt safe and happy. He felt safe when she was in his arms. Like her, this was the first time sleep was easy for him. Unlike her, it was one of the first times in his whole life that sleep was easy for him. Last night as he held Amber was one as well. Up above, Kurama was smirking. His plan was coming to pass. Kushina said, "I want to thank you for what you have done for my son." Kurama said, "Everything bad in his life can be traced back to me. It was the least I could do." Kushina said, "Okay, but something he always says. Do not worry about the past, only the present and the future. Besides, there is another reason I was your host once." Kurama said, "True, I do respect him. He never once cracked and thought about hurting the village. You did many times, yet he never did. He needs someone by his side. She is the perfect one for that." Kushina said, "I agree, but we have a little bit of time before that happens. I can't wait to talk to her." Kurama was not sure if the talk was going to be violent. With Kushina, it could go either way. Kurama was a little nervous about this. Kushina said, "Don't worry, my friend, I won't hurt her. I agree with you that she is the best choice as his wife. She can keep him in line, no one else can. Not even his grandmother can keep him in line. I only wish I could see my granddaughter, she is so cute." They heard a figure say, "I agree, she is, and I am glad Naruto is watching over her." Looking up, they see a woman that looks like an older version of Amber. She was called Sally. She was killed in the final battle. Her husband was still alive and he was the one that hurt her daughter. She said, "I am glad she is safe and sound. Thank you for looking after her. I am also sorry, Lord Kurama." Anime and manga. You see, Sally was one of the many people that hurt Naruto when he was younger. She did not miss the irony at all. My readers, have you missed it? Kurama said, "Thank you, but it is Naruto you need to apologize to. He is the one you hurt. Yes, he does know that he adopted the daughter of one of his abusers." Sally said, "Then I shall do that." Naruto was asleep. Often when he was sleeping, he was in his mindscape. After a while, someone appeared before him. She was an older version of Amber and Naruto knew who she was. He said, "To what do I owe this visit?" Here to hurt me for adopting your daughter. Here to get revenge against the demon. Sally looked down in shame. The worst part was that he had no malice in his voice. That part scared Sally more than anything she had ever seen. Sally bowed and said, I am here a few reasons. The first is the thank you for taking care of my daughter and for giving her a home. She took a pause and got all the way on the ground and bowed once more before saying, I am sorry for all that I have done to you. I am sorry for all that I said to you and about you. After Amber was born, I saw the truth of what I did. I know words will never make up for what I have done, but I am sorry. Naruto long ago learned to read people's faces so he could tell if someone was lying to him. He knew that Sally was not lying to him. He said, forget about it. The past is done with, let it stay there. Is there anything I need to know about Amber? Sally smiled and said, her birth father is the one that beat her and he is still alive. Please do not let him take her. Naruto promised that he would not. Sally hugged Naruto and then faded away. The next morning Naruto woke up when Kurenai left to go on her mission. He said, by the way, I forgot to mention that one of my sisters has bonded with you. Kurenai said with a look of shock on her face. Really, who? Ice jumped on her shoulder and said, that would be me. Now let us go, we got a mission to do. Kurenai kissed Naruto before she left. Both felt the spark form the kiss and both felt great. Kurenai was well rested since she had not slept that well in years. She was ready for her mission. She made it to the village gate and left to do her mission. It was a simple one but would take time. She now had two things or two people to return home to. Actual 3 if she counted Amber. Naruto hugged her and that made her break down. Amber joined in the hug when her friend started to cry. Naruto whispered softly in her ear. Let it out, let it all out. We're here for you. It is okay to cry. No one will be upset with you. Rose did just that. After a good hour she was done crying. She had fallen asleep from crying so much and so hard. Naruto had a guess as to what was making her feel this way. He could not help her unless she admitted it. He was unsure if Rose would admit what was scaring her or how long it would take. There was a knock on the door. Naruto, carefully with Rose in his arms, got up and answered it. Standing there was Anko. She says, Sir, I want to meet my niece, and why did you not introduce me to her yet? Naruto said, to be honest, I was not sure she is ready to meet you yet. You can be scary at times, sis. Anko said, cut someone's check and drank their blood one time and you are labeled crazy for life. Anko noticed that did not get a reaction out of Naruto. Not even a small smiled. Anko finally saw the girl up close. Amber said, it is nice to meet you, Auntie Anko. Anko was shocked that the girl knew who she was. Amber said, Rose told me about you. She said that you saw Daddy as a little brother. She said you could be scary but you would never harm me or let anyone else harm me. Anko smiled and said, you are right, I will not harm you nor will I let anyone else harm you. It was then that Anko noticed for the first time the position of Rose. She beat herself up for not noticing that right away. Naruto answered the unasked question, but the one he knew was going to be asked anyway. She woke up this morning and broke down crying hard for an hour. She then passed out. Anko said, why, what is wrong? Naruto said, Amber, go and play please, I will call you when we leave, okay? Amber asked with a lot of concern on her face. Is Rose going to be okay? Naruto said, it will not be easy but she will be okay. She will need your help. Be there for her and let her know you are her friend. A simple hug can help out a lot in this case. Amber hugged her father and went to play in her room. Naruto said, I suspect that she is scared, plain and simple. Anko said, I never noticed her being scared before. Naruto said, then it means that Kurenai made the right choice in allowing her to be a ninja. Naruto said, you will never be alone. Your mommy made me your guardian should she die. I promise you if that happens I will adopt you and take care of you. He took a pause and pulled the younger girl into a hug before saying, your mom is one of the strongest I know. She will not die that easily. Anime and manga. Rose said, okay, at least I won't be alone. I am still scared. Naruto said, it is okay to be scared. Rose said, I thought a ninja could not show fear or emotions. Naruto said, yes, you are correct about that point. However, that is on the battlefield. He had to take a pause to figure out how best to explain this. He said, at home and with friends it is okay to show fear and emotions. If you bury them then you will end up nothing more than a weapon. Naruto had called Amber down and she climbed onto his lap and cuddled with her father. He said, there is a guy the first know. His name is Sai. He used to not have any emotions at all. Everything he did was fake. After a while he started to show emotions, but until he did he was not well at all. He did not fit in. He told me that he did not feel like he was a person. He felt like a sword. Naruto took a pause before saying, so the bottom line is show emotions, do not bury them. At times as a ninja we have to harden our hearts, but they should not stay hardened or else we will not be human. I know that is a lot to take in. If you two still wish to be ninjas I will start to train you. The two little girls ran upstairs to Amber's room. Naruto went to check on him 10 minutes later and the two were asleep. Anko the whole time was shocked at what she heard out of Naruto's mouth. She did not know he was that deep. Anko said, Naruto, I will admit I had my doubts about you being a good father. However, they are all dead now. You are an amazing person and will make an even better father. Amber is lucky to have you as her father. Naruto smiled, a true smile, one he had not had since the wedding. He said, no, I am lucky to have her as a daughter. I sense there is something else you want to ask, so what is it? Anko said, I was with Kurenai yesterday when we heard what you said. She then went looking for you. So how did it go? Naruto then told Anko what had happened and all that he felt. Anko smiled and said, I am happy for you. She is the right one for you. Just don't hurt her. Naruto said, I would never hurt her, I care about her too much. She called herself my girlfriend. I will never hurt my girlfriend. I am not saying I won't do something stupid. I am a guy after all. Anko hugged him and said, she will not do what the white-eyed bitch did. Give Kurenai a chance and you both will be happy. Naruto said, I know, I look forward to our date. Anko said, if you need someone to watch Amber I am all for it. Anko said, I don't want to ruin the happy moment. How come you have not talked with Sasuke much? Naruto said, once a thief always a thief. I don't trust him at all. If he hurts my sister I will rip his eyes out. If he hurts my daughter I will let the foxes rip him apart. Anko said, so I was right, you really don't want him around. Naruto said, I should have guessed you would have seen through my mask. My so-called friends did not. It gets me mad. After all he did and all the people he hurt and killed he got off without even a slap on wrist. He took a pause to control his anger before saying, if anyone else did that they would be put to death. If I even thought about leaving this village, the hunter ninja would be sent after me before I could make it to the gate. Anko said. If it makes you feel better, Kurenai saw through the mask as well. I think on some level Amber sees through it as well. Naruto says. Why is it after all the good I have done I still feel like I am struggling to have just a small piece of happiness? Is it so wrong for me to want to be happy? Anko asked. What about Sakura? Naruto said. She is too loyal to Sasuke. I don't trust her or him. Anko said. Well, you got me, Iruka, your grandmother and Kurenai on your side plus all your friends and allies out of the village. Naruto said. It is wrong that all my friends are outside the village. Oh well. The girls are still asleep. I am going to let them sleep for now, and I will start training tomorrow. Anko said. What are you going to teach them? Naruto answered. I am not going to teach them how to draw chakra right now. I will teach them more of the physical stuff. I am aiming mostly right now to get them stronger and able to do it. I want them to be kids for now. Anko did not ask, but she knew that Naruto wanted his daughter to have the childhood he never had. That was why he got her the toys. He never had any toys growing up. He vowed his daughter would not have that. Meanwhile, in the forest on the way to her mission, Kurenai had stopped for the night. Ice said. I did not say this before, but I think it is best to say it now. The small fox grew to the size of a large horse and got right in Kurenai's face before saying, if you hurt him in any way, shape or form, then we will feast on your flesh. Anime and manga. Kurenai was a little shaken up by that. Okay, she was very much shaken up by that. She said after her heartbeat had returned to normal. I will not hurt him. I care about him too much. I have not known him long, but I feel like there is a connection with him. I think I may be in love with him. Ice said. I know you will not hurt him. It is my job as his sister to be protective. You thought Anko and I are scary. Don't piss off Midnight. When she is mad, even the nine-tailed fox is scared. Now let's get this mission done. End chapter. Naruto thought back to the last 3 weeks. Rose and Amber got up the next morning after the emotional roller coaster and they started to train. Naruto first wanted to test him out and see what he was working with. He knew they were young, but he had been surprised before, so it was better to get all the details he could first. So he had the girls do some push-ups, and sit-ups and run laps. He also had them do punches, and kicks. All in all, the girls did very well with the test. After that was over, he had them practice throwing kunai and shuriken and senbon. They had a hard time with the throwing weapons, and it took them the whole 3 weeks to get them even close to the target. As of right now, they could not hit the targets all the time. They could throw them, but the aim was bad. However, they were 4, so for 4-year-olds they did well. As the 3 weeks went by for the other exercises, the girls got better. At this point, they could each do 500 sit-ups and push-ups. They could run 7 laps around Naruto's house without stopping. Each lap was a quarter of a mile. So they could almost run 2 miles non-stop. As for the punches and kicks, they could each do 150 without stopping. At the end of each day, the girls were exhausted. They did this routine for a week and then Naruto switched it up. He made them do less exercise and focus more on the throwing weapons. He also taught them some of the fighting styles. He taught them a few basic combinations. They were still working on mastering them. Overall, Naruto was proud of the girls. He was really proud of Amber. Over the 3 weeks, the bond the two had only grew. It got to the point that both felt as if they always have been father and daughter. As for Rose, she still was worried about losing her mother, but she was happy to have Naruto in her life. She secretly hoped that someday he would be her daddy. The other thing that was different was the talk between Tsunade and Naruto. Actually, it was a shadow clone of Naruto, but that is beside the point. At first, the old fire shadow was not happy about the requests. She was not happy at all. However, Naruto was able to convince her. Flashback. Naruto, while he was training the girls, sent a clone to speak with Tsunade. Sound knew right away something was off with her son. She said very gently, "What is troubling you, Naruto?" Naruto sighed and said, "Boss has a few requests for you." Sound knew now she was speaking to a shadow clone. She asked, "Why not wait until I get home? For this part the clone will be called Naruto. Since he is Naruto." Naruto said, "It is better this way. The first is we would like information on Amber's father. We want him watched to make sure that he does not try to harm Amber." Tsunade expected this and was happy to do it. To be truthful, she had already started. Amber may not be her granddaughter by birth, but the little girl had already warmed her way into the old lady's heart. She would never let anyone harm Amber. So it would be a very cold day in hell before Tsunade allowed Amber's birth father to have any contact with the girl. Sound said, "That is easy, I have already started that when he told me." "What is your next request?" Naruto said, "The next ones are going to be hard, but I ask that you please do it." This worried Sound greatly. She knew Naruto never did anything without reason, so she waited. In her mind, a lot of different ideals were going on. Each one was getting odder. However, his next words she never saw coming. "Anime and manga." Naruto said, "I would like it from now on if only you or Shizune give Amber a checkup. I do not want Sakura doing it." Sound was dumbfounded. Her first instinct was to yell and ask him what the hell. However, after the war she stopped yelling so much. She waited to hear him out. So instead she asked, "Why? I thought she was your friend." Naruto said, "She is a friend, I will not deny that. However, I don't trust Sasuke." Sound said with some anger laced in her voice. However, the anger was overshadowed by confusion. "Okay, I can accept that, but why not Sakura? She will never harm a child." Naruto said without missing a beat and without any emotion at all in his voice. "If Sasuke tells her to, she will. I have seen it in her eyes. She is way too loyal to him. She will do anything he tells her to do. Her hair is so short since he ordered her to cut it." Naruto took a pause before saying, "As to why she did it yesterday, I had no choice." Sound could not argue what he said since it was true. She said, "So you think Sasuke might harm Amber? I thought you had forgiven him and made peace with him." Naruto said, "I have. That does not mean I trust him at all. I don't trust him to not try and hurt my family. As long as Sakura is married to him, I do not want her dealing with my daughter in any medical setting, and unless it is absolutely necessary." Sound asked, "Why don't you trust him?" Naruto said, "Once a snake, always a snake. He got no punishment at all. He was given everything on a golden platter after all the crimes he had committed. After all the people he hurt and killed. It is like they did not matter. I know for many people on the council it does not." Sound now understood it from her son's point of view. She knew he was not jealously, he was angry. To be truthful, Tsunade was just as angry, and she agreed with Naruto, she did not trust Sasuke at all. She said, "It will not be easy, but I agree and it shall be done." "What is your next request?" Naruto said, "This is the last one. In a few months I wish to speak to the council. I have a way to honor Neji's last wish. I vowed to him that I would see it happen. Sound, knowing what he was talking about, just nodded her head and said, "Okay, whenever you want to speak, I will give you the floor. You know it will cause more problems, right?" Naruto said, "Yes, I do, and part of me is hoping for it." The clone dispelled itself, giving the memories back to Naruto. End flashback. Rose was really happy since she knew her mommy would be home soon. All the foxes could speak to each other. They had a mental link when they were on Earth. Cerise had informed Midnight that the two were on the way. Rose was looking forward to it. Kurenai and Ice were about 2 miles from the village. Ice said, "I must say that was a fun mission. I never knew grown men could cry like that." The mission was a teaching one. She had to teach people how to teach genjutsu. Some of the guys that she met would hit on her. She ignored them since she had a boyfriend at home. She smiled when she thought boyfriend. The part that got her really mad was when one guy tried to kiss her and then feel her up. Let's just say Kurenai showed way she was the mistress of genjutsu. She kept the guy trapped for 2 weeks. Ice said, "So I would like to ask. I will not hurt you this time. How are you feeling about a relationship with Naruto now that you have had 3 weeks to think about it?" Kurenai said without any hesitation, "I am happy. I want this relationship to work. I feel something with him I have never felt with anyone before." Ice said, "Naruto is our master. He rather us call him brother since he hates the ideal of master and servant. We the foxes would gladly accept you as our mistress or sister. Our boss even likes you." Kurenai asked, "Who is the boss?" Ice smirked a very Naruto smirk and said, "I am sure you can figure it out." Kurenai did, and after a few minutes she said, "So Naruto can summon the 9-tailed fox?" Ice said, "Yes, his name is Kurama and he is a nice guy unless you piss him off." Kurenai was getting nervous, but she was not going to break off the relationship with Naruto. Picking up her speed, she ran to the village and gave her report. Sound said, "Well, I am glad to see you back. So how did it go? I heard about the trapping a gay in his nightmares. What did he do?" Kurenai said, "I told him I was not interested, and I have a boyfriend. Both are true statements. So when he tried to force himself on me, I took action." Suan said, "I was not aware you were seeing anyone. It is not my business, but may I ask who it is?" Kurenai smiled very nervously and said, "It is Naruto. Our first date is set for when I get back." She took a pause before saying, "Hopefully he will agree to have it tomorrow night since I wish to spend some time with Rose." Sound said, "He will agree now. I am sure you have been threatened by the foxes and Anko. To be honest, I am not sure who scares me more. Now it is time for my threat. I will see you die a most painful way if you hurt him." Kurenai said, "I do not know if the relationship will work. I promise if it does not work, I will let him down gently. I will not do what my former student did." Sound said, "I know, but as his mother or grandmother, it is my right to threaten you. Be happy it is me and not Kushina." I remember she said she was looking forward to using the right of battle. Pregnancy and maternity. Kurenai started to get really worried. In some clans, the mother had the right to battle the woman her son wished to marry, or in some cases date. In Naruto's clan's case, this was true. Kurenai asked, "If we were to marry, would you invoke that?" Sound said, "Most likely not, only if I had any doubts at all. At this moment I do have doubts. I have a lot of doubts. I hope if that time comes my doubts will be put to rest." She took a pause before saying, "I like you, Kurenai, and I feel that Kushina would have liked you as well. However, I saw him after Hinata's words and it was not pretty. That was why I allowed the adoption to occur. Being with Amber has brought him out. I do not want to lose him again. The old fire shadow said after a short pause. Amber has made him the Naruto he is without the stupid mask we have all seen. She took a pause before saying, I know this is somewhat selfish on my side, but I already lost most of the people I care about. I won't lose the last few I have. Kurenai nodded her head that she understood. Suan changed from her serious and slightly depressed tone to her happy one as she said, Now go, your daughter misses you and will be happy to see you back. Naruto is happy as well. You are all he has talked about besides Amber. The last statement caused the former Ice Queen to blush. Suan said, Oh, by the way, in case he forgets to tell you, Naruto made your Amber's guardian should he pass away on a mission. If you are not okay with it, let me know, and I shall change the will. Kurenai said, No, I am okay with it. In fact, I am very okay with it. I hope it never happens, but I am okay with it. Kurenai and Ice went to Naruto's house. As Kurenai gets to the house, she is tackled by her daughter. She said, I am really happy to see you, Mommy. Rose then fell asleep in her mom's arms. She was very tired. She had been pushing herself too hard again. Kurenai asked Naruto, who had followed Rose out. Why is she so tired? Naruto said, She has been pushing herself too much, way too much. She was scared that you would not come back. Training has kept her mind off of missing you. Kurenai understood that, but she was confused. How come I never noticed her fear before? Naruto said, She was able to hide it well. I also think it only hits her when you are actual gone. She knows you are going a mission but only gets scared once the mission starts and you are gone. Naruto then explained all that had happened during the 3 weeks with Kurenai's daughter. Kurenai asked after it was done said, So it seems she has been doing pretty well for a 4-year-old. Naruto smiled and said, Yes, she has. You would be proud of her. Now I am guessing you wish to get her home, so I shall let you go. Kurenai said, I really don't want to walk home tonight, I am tired. Naruto said, If you wish you can stay here, and I can make you some dinner if you wish. Kurenai really liked that thought. She kissed Naruto to let him know how much she liked that ideal. That, and she wanted to kiss him once more. She went inside and gently put Rose to bed. Rose had stayed up late waiting for her mother. Amber was already in bed. Naruto made Kurenai some food and she happily ate it. Naruto then massaged her shoulders. Kurenai would have used him as a pillow again. She missed that on her mission. Sadly, there was a knock on the door. An Anbu came in and told Naruto then he was needed at the Hokage Tower. Kurenai said she would stay and watch Amber. Naruto got to the tower and was met by Suan. She said, I am sorry, Naruto, but you are needed. A client has asked for you and the situation is dire. A lot of children have been kidnapped from Spring or Snow Country. Their daimyo Kayuki has asked for you and you alone. Naruto said, She would never ask unless it was important, so give me an hour and I will leave. With a yellow flash he was back home. Kurenai had only known Naruto a short time, but she could tell that her boyfriend was nervous. Before she could ask, he said, In the land of spring some children have been kidnapped and the daimyo is asking for my help. Kurenai said, I will watch Amber until you get back. Naruto smiled and gently kissed her. He then woke up Amber. He did not want to leave without telling her goodbye. Amber knew something was wrong when her daddy woke her up, she could tell. Naruto said, My angel, I have been called on a mission. Some children have been kidnapped and I need to rescue them. Amber said very calmly. Okay, Daddy, I love you, please be safe. She picked up a bracelet she made. She took it and gave it to her daddy and said, please wear this, Daddy, and please be safe. I made this for you for good luck on your missions. Naruto hugged her very closely and said, I promise I will come back, my angel. I love you and I will be safe. Be good for Auntie Kurenai and Auntie Anko and Grandma. After Naruto left on his mission, Amber said in a voice that was both scared but also accepting, Auntie, please hold me tonight. Kurenai did not have the heart to tell the little girl no. So she picked up Amber and picked up Rose. She then went to the bed and pulled both girls to her and the two fell asleep. Kurenai was able to fall asleep so fast since she was very tired, and the bed she used was Naruto's and it had his scent on it. It brought her peace. The next morning the three got up and Kurenai made food for the girls. Sound was there. She hugged Amber and said, if you need me then come to my office and stay with me. Your daddy will come back. Sound left, and once she did, Amber broke down crying and she cried hard. Kurenai did the only thing she could do, and that was to hold the girl close to her. In between sobs, Amber mentioned how she was scared that her daddy would not come back. Kurenai said after an hour and the girl had stopped crying, your daddy will come back. He has gone on many dangerous missions and each and every one he has come back alive. That was before he adopted you and he had nothing to come home to. Kurenai took a pause before saying, now he has you, which means he will fight harder. This made Amber feel a lot better. She said, can you tell me a story about Daddy? Kurenai pulled Rose to her and told a few stories well into the afternoon and night. Kurenai ordered some takeout and the girls had food and went to bed. Ruby had grown to a bigger size and curled up with Amber, covering the little girl with her tail. Suan got home that night and asked how Amber was. Kurenai said, as soon as you left she started to cry. Kurenai then told everything that had happened. Suan said, well, you have earned more points in my book. She is strong just like her dad. Kurenai said, yes, I agree, she will be a great ninja someday. She took a pause and gathered up all the courage she had in her. She said, Naruto's greatest wish is to have a family of his own. He wants a wife with kids. I will be honest. At this point I could see myself as his wife. However, after the final battle I was told that there might be a chance that I could not have kids. Can you please do a test to see if that is true? I will pay for it. Sound was not expecting this at all. She had mixed feelings about it, however. On the one hand, she did not want to think about Naruto having children. Him having kids did not bother her. Thinking about him having did. However, she was glad that Kurenai was thinking about Naruto. She said, that is easy to do, and by the way, you have just killed many of my doubts. Suan took some blood and sealed it so she could test it later. It had been 6 days since Naruto left the village and he had finally made it to Spring Country. The whole time he did not speak unless he needed to. After getting off the dock, he ran with Midnight to the castle of Kayuki. She had helped the Leaf Village recover after the war. She sent medics and other supplies to aid in the war effort. She had not ninja to send, so she sent what she could. Kayuki was not happy. She had gotten word from a group of bandits, terrorists that threatened to kill children if she did not leave the country. In all, 50 children's lives were in the balance. No one in her country wanted her gone. They all wanted her as their leader. She called the one person that she knew would not fail in getting the children back. She called the man she respected and loved. She called Naruto. Yes, you read right, she loved Naruto with all her heart. She had gotten word of the adoption and was asked if she would provide support for it in case Naruto was challenged. She did not hesitate at all. She was waiting in her throne room when a guard came up to her and bowed. He said, "My Princess Naruto and a small black fox are here." Koyuki said, "Well then let him in already so he can go and help the children." Naruto came in. He did not bow since it was not needed. The last time he bowed before Koyuki, she smacked him on the head and told him to never bow to her again. Koyuki said, "I am glad you are here, my friend. You know what has occurred. When can you get started?" Naruto said, "I need something for one of the kids. Do you have anything like that?" A guard walked up and pulled out a doll from his jacket and said, "Lord Naruto, this is my daughter's favorite doll." Midnight started to sniff it and she said, "They are 10 miles from here." Naruto then started to do hand signs, and once he was done he slammed his hands on the ground and shouted, "Summoning massive fox army." A puff of smoke was seen and about 50 foxes were all there. Without a word, Naruto and his foxes ran to get the children. The same guard that gave the doll said, "My princess, I am sorry to be rude, but we need an army to get the children back." Koyuki smiled and said, "I just sent one. Thanks to Omega Archer for that line." She said in her head after he left, "Be careful, Naruto." Naruto and the foxes were on a mission. The foxes were what who